hate to tell you, but I'm doing all right. We are not going to start your testimony this afternoon after all. And hopefully first thing in the morning, we'll see you at 9. Do you want to just let the jury know that we're finished for the day? Laura, can you do that?
Oh. I guess he'll be testifying first thing in the morning. What is it? Marquavius Nichols? That was cuz name? Nichols? Yeah, he got sick or something happened with him today. But that's essentially what happened. But bruh, Weinstein? There's a reason. And everybody kept on saying, bro, why is Weinstein in your top 2? Why is it Adams and Weinstein, 1A and 1B? Watch this.
So I have a few questions. You were, as you testified, that you are the person that apprehended Mr. Arnold, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you tased Mr. Arnold in order to apprehend him, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you knee Mr. Arnold in the back?
I don't recall that.
Did you spit on him?
No.
Would that have been appropriate to do?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Would it have been appropriate if your partner kneed and spit on Mr. Kendrick after tasing him?
I'm not objecting to the same matter, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Okay. After this arrest, were you ever called to testify? And I'm speaking specifically regarding my client, Mr. Kendrick. After this arrest, were you ever called to testify at any hearing, trial, or sentencing for Mr. Kendrick?
I don't recall if I was or not.
Are you aware of Mr. Kendrick being sentenced for his possession of a firearm and serving time with regards to this incident?
No, I'm not.
Okay, thank you. I have no further questions.
You dirty little liar.
Yeah, you was lying, bro. You was lying. You was lying. Yeah. We heard, I don't recall. Yeah, you was lying. And it's funny because the way the chat was reacting, priceless. I wish I was in the courtroom today. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to get back to Atlanta. Whew. So, yeah, bro, I ain't gonna hold you. That cop looked so stupid once he said that. Everything in his testimony did not matter after that, because in the eyes of a regular person, the cops are the good guys. We are judged by how we do the worst of us. So your job, you should automatically know, officer. Nobody wants to go to jail, even the dumbasses who are committing crimes. So there's that, but I ain't gonna hold you. I gotta make fun of Duke real quick. Did y'all see this shit right here?
Identity for these individuals.
Yes, we did.
And what was the identity of the driver?
The driver was Mr. Diamante Kendricks.
And what was the identity of the passenger?
The passenger was Mr. Martinez Arnold.
And as these passengers, as Mr. Kendrick and Mr. Arnold are fleeing on foot, did you ever give any verbal commands to them?
Yes, I was chasing behind Mr. Arnold, and I did give him verbal commands to stop.
Did they stop?
No.
And I should say, did they stop at your command?
No, they did not stop at my command.
And as you gave chase to Martinez Arnold, can you describe where he went during this chase? Is there any location that you followed him to?
When he fled south on Flat Shoals, he dipped in behind the houses to the left, went behind one of the properties there, one of the houses, chased him to about a fence. He hopped the fence. At that time, when he jumped over the fence, he stumbled and fell. Me with all my gear on, it takes us a little longer to get over a fence. Couldn't see his hands, so I used my city-issued taser to try and stop him. The first time I fired it, it was ineffective. It didn't make good connection. The second time I fired it, it did make good connection, basically making him immobilized and giving me time to get over the fence to apprehend him.
And after, during the course of that interaction, was he injured in any way to your recollection?
To my recollection, I do not know of him being injured, no.
Now, I ain't did no research on Duke or anything like that as far as athletic background go. But I hope that Duke has been practicing jogging and shit. Cause the way it sound like you was almost free and got your ass. Definitely. That cop, he shot and missed, and he shot again and got your ass. That's your ass, Mr. Postman. But yeah, nah, and I ain't gonna hold you. I think we got a nickname for Adams, because what happened today essentially was this. You had one cop come up there and then talk about basically Yak and Duke when allegedly they was gonna slide on some ops and stuff like that, and that boy said he went across the lanes. He must have already knew. Like, cops, the way they say stuff, bro, I don't be believing that half the time, because we know when the police gonna pull us over. We know that. So y'all got rocket fire in the goddamn car. Y'all know what time it is. Basically, shit. He seen the cops, must have knew they was gonna get on him. Try to take off to the right, try to get away. I mean, it was sometimes you get away, sometimes you don't, bro. Like, the police cuss no plug ass out all the time because they can't catch him. So next time I'm in Atlanta, I'm just, if I'm ever on some BS, I'm finna call my little cousin no plug, and then we finna, roll out, because he seemed to be the only nigga getting away from the police in Atlanta. I know Woody said he did, but Woody a goddamn lie. I don't believe shit that come out his mouth. So Woody said he got away from the police. I doubt it, little nigga. Hell no. Unless you say you ducked under something with your little ass. But other than that, you had the cop basically come through and testify on that behalf, and then we had another cop basically supposed to look like a ballistics expert, but they try to make him look like a gun expert. Miss Love should put your ass to sleep, even if you on coffee and some uppers and some monsters and all that. Like, bro, it was pretty lackluster, but it made it seem like, bro, this dude know what he talking about, and I ain't gonna hold you. I didn't really see a flaw in what the hell he was saying, but then we got Matador Adams on the job, and I'm gonna keep it authentic. Well, I ain't gonna call Matador Adams because I do say Chef Steele. So Matador Adams is on it and seen through all that bullshit. And bruh, that man was aggressive cursive. And when I say aggressive cursive, I mean he was destroying the hell out of the so-called witness expert, because he wasn't no expert as far as guns go.
All right, may I proceed?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Kilgore.
Yes, sir.
I've got just a couple questions for you, if that's okay.
Okay.
And you and I have had a chance to chat briefly about these reports that you have in court with you today. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I want you to help me, if you can, to just kind of break it down, because you've testified for a while, but I think, and you correct me if I'm wrong, that we can kind of simplify it this way. You are not a firearms examiner.
I am not.
Okay. So a person that actually looks at evidence and makes a determination, for example, of whether a particular cartridge was fired from a particular gun is a firearms examiner. That's not you.
Correct.
Okay. In your capacity, and you work for APD.
Yes, sir.
Right? You work with their lab.
Yes.
All right. What you do, if I heard you correctly, is that you receive items of evidence tied to particular cases, right?
Yes.
Those items of evidence come into you from whoever the case agent is, the case detective or police officer, right?
Yes.
So, for example, a detective, I'm just using this name, Thorpe, might submit cartridge cases to the lab for them to be recorded, analyzed, for you to examine their characteristics. Is that fair?
Yes.
All right. You were asked on direct examination, okay, who's the suspect? What's the suspect name or the victim name or something like that? You remember those questions?
Yes.
That's not something that you do. You don't make a determination as to who a potential suspect is or who a potential victim is in a particular case that comes to you, right?
No, we only record what comes in the packaging or a submission form. If it has that, we just record what's there.
Okay. So the submission form is, as you reference, when you get those items of evidence, and hypothetically I'm talking about, let's say, some shell casings, right? You would have a submission form that has those items, and it has some information, usually filled out, I presume, by the detective.
Yes.
That has the name of a potential suspect, the name of a potential victim, perhaps.
Correct.
All right. You would not know whether that's accurate or not. That's just the way the information comes in.
Correct.
A detective, for example, may label someone as a suspect. Later on, may turn out that person's not a suspect.
Correct.
All right, you have nothing to do with that.
Nothing.
All right. And you can't vouch for the accuracy of those recitations by the detective or the case agent or police officer.
Correct.
All right. You get the items. It may be a cartridge case, true?
Yes,
Maybe a gun.
yes.
It may be a projectile, perhaps?
We sometimes get projectiles, but the NIBIN system is not set up to do projectiles.
Okay. In the case of, for example, a cartridge case, a shell casing, you would do a visual inspection, that may be the wrong word, analysis of it to determine what some characteristics that it may have.
Correct.
Right? All right. Once you've done that, you input those findings into the machine.
Yes.
Is that right? Is there a step in between that, or am I still on the right track?
No, once we determine which cartridge case, then we'll pick that cartridge case and it gets entered into the NIBIN machine.
Okay, so just to break that part down a little bit, you may have an evidence submission that comes in with 10 cartridge cases, right?
Correct.
You'll pick maybe one out of those 10.
Correct, if once we triage it.
Okay, triage.
Triage is what I explained earlier. So if we get 10 cartridge cases and 5 of them are 9mm and 5 of them are 40s, we'll separate those out first by caliber.
Right.
And then from there, we'll look at the firing pin impression. You know, if they're all circular, then we'll look to see if we see any similarities.
There you go.
And then pick one.
Okay.
But if there's no similarities or they're different shapes, then we'll again separate it out into another group.
Okay.
But that's just triaging to do a preliminary, I guess, a division of them.
Okay. They have similarities, then you pick one out of that group.
Correct.
Okay. All right. And again, that's not a final determination. That's just kind of preliminary determination.
Preliminary, correct. Once the firearms examiner looks at it, they'll make the final determination to say, yes, all of these came from the same firearm, or no, they didn't.
Right. But when it's there with you, that determination is not being made there.
I cannot do that, no.
Right. You put it into the machine, and that's the, what is it called? The IBIS 3D HD?
Yes.
Okay. You put it into that machine makes a determination, the machine does, that this particular item may be matched to another item in its system, in the NIBIN system.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Kind of like a fingerprint, perhaps.
Yes,
Right?
similar to the APHIS system, yes.
Okay, like the APHIS system where you got a fingerprint and the machine may say this fingerprint is a potential match to a fingerprint from some other case.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Now that's not the end of it though, because once that determination is made that there is a quote unquote lead by the machine, then the items are sent to a firearms examiner to make a final determination.
Correct.
That is why you said earlier a couple of times that the computer determines that they may be a potential match.
Yes.
All right, because potential meaning it may end up being a match, it may not have enough characteristics that an expert would say these two things match.
Right.
And when I say these two things, meaning you may have a shell casing in one case that ends up matching with a shell casing in a different case, right?
Correct.
Meaning that those two shell casings may have been fired perhaps from the same gun.
Correct.
All right. As Ms. Love asked you, the results, the potential or preliminary results that you get do not tell you who possessed a particular shell casing or firearm, right?
Correct.
Don't tell you how or when that shell casing, that bullet, or that gun was used, right? It doesn't tell you, even if there is a potential match, one case to another, that that item, let's say a gun, was used by the same individual in one item versus the other.
Correct.
Okay. All right, give me 1 second if you don't mind. May I have a second, Judge?
Sure.
That was like, to me, you ain't no cop, Jay Reed. You ain't no cop, Jay Reed. That's what that felt like, bruh.
You ain't no cop. You ain't no cop, Jay Reed.
When he said, yeah, you know, I pulled your card. And it says here, you know how to examine bullets, but you don't know shit about guns. That ain't your expertise. That ain't your line. I'm like, God damn. So shout out to Matador Adams for whooping ass again, because every time that dude come up, it's like, bro, for me, it was Hanukkah, you know, Piazza May already. God damn it. You know, it's Hanukkah already, bro. Like, all right, cool. So now, where's my other gifts at? If they come through and Dennis flops or Dennis is pissed off, it's going to get interesting, because at the end of the day, this is supposed to be the capacity in which Dennis and Gaither were supposed to be testifying. They're supposed to testify as cops and gang experts. That's why you see them twice. So some people are like, why are they bringing them back? Why are they bringing them back? Well, because they got to do it as cops and as gang experts. Because I know some of y'all are just not coming in here. So, hey, welcome. But that's what he's there for. And then, you know, it's funny. all the jubilation and all that shit that the state got yesterday went out the window today. So remember, we had fast day yesterday, and then we was back to our normal scheduled programming. So there's that. But what I will say is this, right? Shout out Big Meech hitting the halfway house. That's the information I got. Some people, I just kept seeing a bunch of spam, so I took it off my stuff when I said he's in the halfway home. He's in the halfway home. But also at the same time, too, and there's going to be people in the comments that's going to argue that. If you expect me to argue that with you, I'm not. Under my belief and the people I spoke to, he's in the halfway home. But either way that goes. It's about to get real interesting because now we're about to start talking about people getting killed because we had SB basically did dirty by the police, and the police in the state did it again today.
This may be a...
All right, thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you all a limiting instruction at this point. Sometimes evidence is admitted against some parties and not others, or for some counts and not others. When this happens, that evidence can be considered by you, the jury, only as to the party against whom it is offered and only for the count for which it is offered and not against any other defendant or for any other count or purpose. In the next part of this witness's testimony, you're going to hear about statements made by defendant Shannon Stillwell, also known as Shannon Jackson. You are to consider those statements only against Mr. Stillwell and only as to count 1. You may not consider those statements as to any other count, and you may not consider those statements in any way in determining the guilt or innocence of any other defendant in this case besides Mr. Stillwell.
Now, Investigator Griffin, did you ever have a third conversation with Shannon Stillwell?
I did. And you spoke with Mr. Stillwell about the ongoing beef between Kenneth Copeland, Woody, and Shell Kell.
Yes, I did.
Mr. Stillwell referred to that beef as generational beef between those two individuals, correct?
He did. He did.
He described the situation as they shoot at Woody and his people, Woody shoots back, correct?
That's correct.
And Mr. Stillwell was concerned because he felt that people perceived him as Woody's friend.
Yes, that is correct.
And that people were now shooting at him because Woody was in custody and they could not get Woody, correct?
I think I can infer that. I'm not sure if he specifically said that, but I was of the same impression.
Okay.
So Shannon broke code and then recanted his code. So that's a DP. It just is what it is. Because one, you got to go get your revenge. Now, I can't say for certainty what they wrote down because we all got to see it. So I'm going to give him a little bit of grace and all that because basically how they set his ass up in the beginning was, hey, check it out. Who you know in these pictures? Oh, I know this person. Like, all right, cool. And ultimately, nobody was convicted. So, you get it in blood in the streets, unfortunately. Now, who knows? The family might have pressured him into something. Somebody probably, because they do certain little tactics and stuff like that. I'm not giving cuz no pass, nothing like that. I don't know him, don't want to know him or anything like that. But I'm just saying, we just got to see the tapes. But right now, it sounds like cuz broke code. This whole thing about a lady that he didn't even know getting shot in the face and basically dying, that's insane. To be fair, it's insane. It's crazy. And then on top of that, bro, let's just be fair. Are you sitting in that cell being pressurized to do certain things? Who knows? I think he probably in his mind was hoping that, it would have been him or something like that. But it's just certain shit that he said that's alleged by the police. That's an absolute no-no. Now, nobody got convicted or nothing like that, but still, them shits is no-nos. But like I say, the police reports, they lie all the time. It's rare that they don't. The rarities that they don't typically, you can take police word is, if the police is saying somebody got touched on and stuff like that, especially like if it's a kid saying that, especially like if a boy say that, hey, this dude touched me, I just find it hard to believe stuff like that, or a little girl or something like that. So I don't let everybody off the hook, but police do play weird games and saying, oh, this person said this and this person said that, and then we find out that didn't happen. They make it up on reports. That's why body cams are so prevalent now, because we've seen instances, and I will point out a prime one. Remember when the lady got shot in the face? When she said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, and cuz popped her in the face. Well, if y'all remember, which y'all don't, and I'll remind you, but they said that woman basically charged them with a pot of hot water. And it turns out, one, she never did that. Two, the water wasn't even hot. She just went on there and just literally said, oh, I just put the pot on there. So you get crap like that exists in this effed up justice system that we have. And just to leave it on a positive note, I don't know if Paige fears Ashley Merchant, but it seemed like Duke's deal is possibly gonna fuck the state. I don't know what that is, but Miss Love is doing some underhanded shit, and we'll break it down more on Saturday. But Miss Love is definitely trying to get Duke by himself so she can punch on him. And it's like, nah. The superhero named Ashley Merchant ain't playing that shit. She ain't playing none of that shit. So I'm going to keep it authentic with you. As much as I may like Ashley Merchant, not as much as her husband, because I don't want no static. I don't want no problems. I think it's her rep that's carrying her right now. I don't even think she got to do shit anymore. Like, I'm being fair. What she wrote, golly. It's fire, bro. It's flame. So we'll break it down more on Saturday, because there's a lot of shit I want to get into, and I want to save that one because, bro, I got a lot to say, and we don't have enough time for that, and it's gonna make the video boring as hell. So other than that, subscribe, turn that bell, stay notified. Bro, we 2,500K away from that $1,000 giveaway. So it look like more than likely we're gonna hit that shit by next Friday. So if you want to get a chance to win a quick band, bruh, let me help you out. All you have to do, be a subscriber. Comment on the videos or share the videos. I can see everybody who subscribed. My channel tells me. I don't give a damn who you are, how long you've been here. There are some finalists already that's already solidified. It's just a raffle. I put names in there. When we start getting closer, when it starts looking like we're 100 subscribers away, I'm going to start on the comments, I'm going to start writing, because you need to have Cash App. You need to have Cash App, or be prepared to send me your address, and I can just send you the bread. Like, I can do that too. I ain't tripping on that part. So just make sure that you have some type of social media that I can connect with you on, because when we do the raffle, somebody's going to win. Legally, I had to give it away anyway. So anybody hollering scam, and all that shit and everything like that, please never return. We done already given away thousands of dollars from members and all of this stuff. We done helped out the homeless. We done helped out the youth in Philly. I want to say that we played a very tiny part in curbing the violence in Philadelphia over the years by giving thousands away from this damn channel. Yes, we did that. Yes, we want to continue to do that. But at the same token, at the same time, it's time for one of y'all lucky individuals to go ahead and get paid from this as well. And I'm going to say this once. After we hit 200K, that 50,000 and all that shit, the subscribers just about to start piling in. So make sure you are subscribed, because after that, we're just going to start giving away some gaming systems. Then when we hit 300K, we might just start doing it a little bit differently. And I don't know what we'll be giving away. We might just go back to giving away money. We might make it money in game consoles. I have no idea. But when this trial is over, it's going to show y'all the strength of this channel, because I believe in my heart of hearts, we are the next ones up. The visionaries. We the next group of individuals that's about to shake this whole entire rap industry. And as far as entertainment go, we ain't gonna just be talking about rappers and all that. We're gonna talk about some of you whack-ass actors and some of you whack-ass influencers. And we're not calling them whack, we call them what they do whack, and they need to be brought to the goddamn court with the damn hood lawyer. We just gonna charge them and read them their charges. And after that, I'll let y'all determine whether they're guilty, but I have a feeling that we all gonna be on the same accord. So share to keep your people aware, subscribe to the bell, stay notified, and I will catch y'all tomorrow in the next one.